I had to go like Sam I am on Dr. Seuss. I mean, like, I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like med surge. I mean, so if I don't like it here, I ain't gonna like it in Utah. I ain't gonna like it in Nebraska. I just don't like it. It's not for me. Okay. And that's okay. Did I say my nerves were bad? Let me see. Do I got some more coffee? Did I say my nerves was bad? Let me calm down. Cause see, I get flashbacks. Where was I? Hey everybody out there, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to have you. So today's topic is going to be just what the thumbnail says, okay? Why I quit bedside nursing, okay? Now, first of all, let me just say this. Whenever I discuss this topic, my nerves are bad, okay? My nerves bad. So let me get some coffee, because it's going, and what's funny is I made coffee before I, began to shoot this video. And I don't even drink black coffee, but I'm gonna have to drink it black today, okay? Because my nerves is bad. Nerves is shot. And this is about how I'm about to give you this material straight raw, okay? So let's get right into it. Oh, honey. So first, let me say I did a large majority of my nursing career was on a med surge unit. Let me repeat that. Med surge unit. Okay. What I would liken to as the Wally World, aka Walmart of nursing. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. It's, yeah, you know what it is. If you've worked there, you know what it is. I mean, hey, listen, everybody has their preferences. That is not one of mine. So in order to tell you why I left bedside nursing, I'm gonna have to take you back a little bit. My kids were fairly young. I want to say about 7. They were 6 and 7 years old. I have 2 boys. They're now 17 and 18. So that goes to show you how much time has passed. But at any rate, the age of them about being about 7 up until maybe, I don't know, 11 or 12-ish, I spent a large majority of time in school and work, and we had little to no time for a lot of family fun activities, okay? So the goal was, once I, secured this position, I would have more money. I'm thinking I have more time, because I understood, going in, that nurses work 3 12-hour shifts. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll have 4 days off a week. Everything is going to be lovely. Well, once I graduated and went through the residency and began working, I quickly realized that when you're working 312s on a med surge unit, you need at least 2 of those days that you have off as a recovery day. You are not up to doing anything. It's all, I'll speak for myself. I wasn't up to doing anything. I was so tired, it was like a zombie. Plus, I worked night shift for the entire time that I was a med-surg nurse. So I am taking one of the free days that I have to try and switch my sleeping pattern back to that of my family's by, staying up during the day and sleeping at night, which was darn near an impossibility. So, I mean, sometimes I was up literally a 24-hour period, because I just could not get it together. So all of that to say, the 4 days off is really like 1 day off. And that 1 day I found myself dreading having to go back. So it just was not working for me for those reasons. Also, because one of my main objectives for becoming a nurse was to be able to have, or so I thought, to be able to have more of a work-life balance for my family. And when I saw that wasn't the case, listen, to each their own, but for me, there are certain things that just does not have a price tag on it. And I was not willing to sacrifice, any more of my children's life. I had already sacrificed their fun time and family time, quality time from the age of 7 to 11 or 7 to 12. I wasn't willing to do that any further. Like something was going to have to give, and it wasn't going to be their childhood. That's my personal opinion. I do know that there's parents out there who work, and have kids, and it works out for them. Great, wonderful, kudos to you. But as for me and my house, um, I just wasn't willing to do it going forward. I just felt like I was robbing my kids of their childhood, because sometimes I could not put them in that sport or that activity because it did not align with my schedule. So that was one thing. Also, working night shifts, I was getting off from work, driving home. Okay, so just to paint the picture for you, I was getting off work at 7 a.m. So worked 7 p.m., got off work at 7 a.m., left work at 7 a.m. to go home, which I normally didn't get home till about 8 a.m., pick up my kids because now they got to get ready for school. So 8 a.m., we're leaving home, going back across town, practically to where I was working, to drop them off at school. This is now 9 a.m. Then I've got to go back on the other side of town to go home so I can go to sleep, 10 a.m. And then I'm back up by 3 p.m. to do this all over again. Pick them up from school, take them home, go back. Like, it's just, so where is the time for the after school activities, the quality time, etc. Also, oftentimes in the hospitals, you have to work weekends. So that's out of the window. You also have to work holidays because, hospitals are open 24/7, right? And I'm sorry, a $2 shift or weekend differential wasn't worth it for me. The trade-off wasn't worth it. Okay. So that's one of the reasons I quit. Work-life balance. So I noticed also very quickly that my health started to decline. That is another thing I am just not willing to put a price tag on, honey. If I don't take care of me, who will? Hold on, and on that note, sip some book. Mm, mm, mm. Ooh, thank you. Anyway, so yeah, honey, I'm not. Okay, so let me go into detail about when I say my health started to decline. So first of all, I began to get very fatigued. And I'm sure that this had to do with me working night shift. To the point to where when I would be in between the commute from picking my kids up after work and taking them to school, and I'm not proud to say this, and any fellow nurses out there who works night shift, and has kids and have that responsibility, please, if at all possible, try to make other arrangements. But let me tell y'all something. I fell asleep on the road. I fell asleep actually on the expressway and went across 4 lanes of traffic. And by the grace of God, there was, no one there that I hit. Okay, so bad so that I had to just pull over, turn around, and take my kids back. I'm like, we're not going to make it. There were other times where I made it to the destination without incident. However, my kids' school has a track across the street from it. There's been times I've been so exhausted, I had to pull over to the track across the street from their school and just at least take me an hour nap in their school parking lot before I could even make it home. Okay, I'm just telling you. All right. So that's one thing with my, just health and fatigue and just feeling really, really weak, really sleep deprived. Also, I noticed, y'all, my hair started to fall out. Now listen to me. If anybody out there who is watching this, who knows me in real life, I do not claim to have ever had, okay, long, luscious locks. So I'm by no means blaming nursing for not having long hair. Okay, that's not in my DNA. Okay, so when I say my hair was falling out, no boo, it wasn't shedding like normal, fallout. No, 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 no. It was coming out in globs, in globs. Okay, that's a problem. All right, because why is my hair falling out from the root? Chap, listen, I told y'all when I talk about this, the nerves get bad. Why is my hair falling out from the root? The root. So anyway, my hair falling out. Then I go to the doctor. I also found out that I was very deficient in vitamin D, which I presume had also to do with me working night shift because of the fact that vitamin D you can get naturally from the sun, right? So, but if you're working at night and then you get off during the day and you're asleep during the day, and then by the time I come back out of my house at night, when am I getting sunlight? When am I absorbing the sun? Never. Right? So it would make sense that I'm deficient. And of course, they want to give you pills and all of this other stuff. And I'm not one to be just ingesting things that I could, produce naturally. So by the grace of God, thankfully, I work from home now. And guess what I do on my 15-minute breaks? I go outside to my hammock, honey, and I lay in the sun. It's not for show. It's not, but I need it. I'm deficient in it. So I have to purposely and intentionally make my way outside and kind of just lay out in the sun for a few. Because even working from home, if you just stay in the house all day, you're still not absorbing sunlight. I also wasn't too fond of being pulled to and fro and having to take on roles of many different people at once. And what I mean is, I don't think that a lot of people realize that when you are a bedside nurse, you're not just a bedside nurse. So I personally didn't particularly care for having to be the nurse, having to be dietary. Meanwhile, I got Willie in room 5 that just decided he was going to get up on his own to go to the bathroom and then pulled his IV out. Now I got to go do that. Meanwhile, the charge nurse is telling me I got to get my patient in another room to CT scan. Where the heck is transport? Meanwhile, you're also calling pharmacy because your medication in room 6 is an hour overdue. Is the medication ready? Also, you gotta argue with the NP on the phone because they don't want to wake up in the middle of the night. Imagine that. Their job to be on call for the doctor. So when your patient has a change in status and you need to order, or you would like to request an order for a different type of medication, or simply let them know of the change of status to see what it is that they would like to do, they get upset for some reason. Imagine that. Okay. Meanwhile, you playing the lawyer in the other room between the mama and the daughter that's arguing over the daddy bedside. You also got to be the janitor for room 2 because they baby decided to eat Cheetos and soda pop and spill. I like it. Did I say my nerves were bad? Let me see. Do I got some more coffee? Did I say my nerves was bad? Let me calm down, because see, I get flashbacks. I told y'all my nerves get bad just talking about it. So yeah, so where was I? So also, with the requesting time off, oftentimes that goes to whoever has seniority. And if you are the newbie on the block, like I was, there was no point in me even submitting requests because they were never honored. And that didn't sit well with me either, because, okay, yes, I get it. People been there 5, 10, 15 years, etc. But I don't have a foot in the game because I'm always going to be 10, 15 years behind them. And I didn't think that was really fair. I mean, I know you've been here longer, but we still doing the same job. And God dog, you get New Year's off every year? You get New Year's off every year. You just entitled to it. I just can't never expect to get the day off. So then I got to call out and I'm coming down with something just to get a break. No. Um no. And then, there were times, oftentimes, more often than not, my home unit was an OBS unit. Oftentimes it would be slow and they would just float me here, there, and everywhere. And while a large majority of the time I didn't really mind it, but if you've ever floated, you get floated to those floors where, people aren't the nicest, people aren't the most helpful, you feel alone. I thought at the time though that it was excellent training grounds though for travel nursing, because essentially that's what would happen if you travel nurse. You're gonna float, you're gonna go to wherever they tell you the need is, and you got to kind of field your way around, and hopefully you have some compassionate and understanding nurses who are willing to assist when needed, but that's not always the case. So I kind of to get rid of the anxiety of coming into work and not knowing where I'm going to be assigned for it today, I would just put myself in the mindset of a traveler. And actually, I did go ahead and change my license to multi-state, with the expectation that I was going to begin traveling. And then it dawned on me, because I did quit. I ended up quitting Med-Surg after I fulfilled my 2-year contract. And I was thinking, I was about to take off traveling, and I was thinking, honey, I understand that, travel money and this, that, and the third, and rah, 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 sis, boom, bah. However, I had to go like Sam I am on Dr. Seuss. I mean, like, I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like Med-Surg. So if I don't like it here, I ain't gonna like it in Utah. I ain't gonna like it in Nebraska. I just don't like it. It's not for me. Okay. And that's okay. Okay. Every specialty is different. Okay. Everybody's not built for the same thing. Now, could I perform the tasks of a Med-Surg nurse? Absolutely. I was an excellent nurse. Got a lot of recommendations and even letters of acknowledgement from my patients, and I still keep them to this day. I mean, they're the reason that I became a nurse, because I do enjoy helping others. I truly do enjoy being of service to others. However, there's more than one way to do that. There's more than one way to be of service to a person, right? And still use your nursing credentials so that you don't feel like you wasted all of this time on a degree that you have no desire to use. Okay. So keep that in mind. I shared this information in case there's any other Med-Surg nurses out there who are feeling, you're anxious every time you got to go to work. You're walking around like a zombie and you're trying to see, is there life after Med-Surg or life after the hospital? I'm here to tell you there is. Move around. Find your niche. Okay. I'm so glad I found mine actually on accident after leaving the operating room. That's another video as far as why I left the operating room. But I'm so thankful for everything that has happened up until this point to get me to where I am today. Okay. So if you are not happy where you are, I encourage you to find your niche while you're in nursing school, okay? Or if you've already graduated and you're working the floor now, think about when you were in nursing school, okay? What subjects or coursework within that program did you gravitate towards? Because that's going to help you, help give you an indication as to where you might best fit, okay? For instance, I have a friend of mine in nursing school. She loved the nursing papers. She loved writing papers. And I'm sitting here like, who the heck loves writing papers? Like, that's got to be the boringest. Like, she loved reading. She loves reading and she loved writing papers, right? Well, guess what she's doing now? She's a nurse researcher. right? It fits, okay? What I quickly realized is that I gravitate towards the case studies. I love the case studies in school where you had to try to figure out what's priority, or if you're given a medication, why are you giving that medication? Um, what would you do next? Would you order, what type of imaging would you order, and why would you order that type of imaging? Why would you order those types of labs? And guess what, if you gravitate towards case studies, you probably would be a great utilization management nurse, because essentially that's what my job consists of. Every case that comes across my desk is a patient scenario where I am having to try and figure out what the rule out or indication is that the doctor is trying to find based on the clinicals that's been provided. And then within that same clinical, trying to find reasons that warrant or justify why it is that the doctor needs whatever it is that they're ordering, be it a continued stay, imaging, a certain type of medication, etc. You see how I just made that connection? Right. So, I encourage you to really think about the courses that you took, the exercises that you did while you were in nursing school, and I think it might give you a really good indication as to where you best fit in this nursing puzzle. So do not throw away, your degree or hang it up, if you really love nursing and you love learning about the different disease processes and helping people, etc., because there's different types of jobs that you can do that are not bedside nursing jobs. Okay, again, you have informatics, you do have operating room, which I guess essentially is non-bedside, but I mean, you still have a patient that you have to care for. They're just anesthetized, but you have the operating room, you have informatics, you have infection control, you have nurse research, utilization management, clinical documentation integrity that deals more with the coding side of things. I mean, the possibilities are endless. You even have legal nurses, right? So it's so broad. And I just wanted to share my story with you all, just to encourage you to keep going, keep searching. There is life after bedside if you do decide to leave or even come join me in my niche. So I just wanted to provide hope for you all out there, because I know what it felt like to feel hopeless, right? I mean, it's a sad and startling realization when you feel like I might have to hang all of this up for my health, right? So I hope this video has been encouraging to you. If you found it encouraging, you found it helpful, like, comment, subscribe, spread the word to your nurse friends, because I love making new friends too. And I will see you next time on the next video.